How I accidentally made over $500,000 this year in real estate wholesaling. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how I accidentally made a ton of extra money in my real estate wholesaling business, and most importantly, how you can do the same thing in your real estate wholesaling business. So before I break it down, break down how I made over extra $500,000 in assignment fees, do me a big favor and smash that like button and subscribe, and let's break it all down. So yes, if I break down all the deals I did this year already, basically already over half the year already done, I've accidentally made $500,000 in just, I'd quote unquote call bonus fees, right? More or less, I've made that from the following mistakes, more or less. But this is something that I have always really done in my real estate wholesaling business, that I talk about it sometimes, but not as much as I should. So let me break down some of these things. So one thing I can tell you right now is I'm very pessimistic with my sellers when it comes to prices on real estate. I always try to get the best price possible, and sometimes I just lowball way too much, and my team lowballs too much. So I'll give you one example. You know, we did a $90,000 wholesaling real estate deal this year, and honestly, looking back at it, when we offered the price on it, we should have offered something off the bat. We were going to make like 75,000 on it. Except we were so off basically on the comps to a point, we lowballed it. We were going to make like 120,000 on the assignment fee. And most people, you know, they get kicked out of the house when they lowball that low, but we kind of did a trial close that, again, we teach at freewholesaling.com, which is my free wholesaling real estate course, which honestly, I don't know why you guys aren't watching it. It is definitely the best thing you can possibly be doing right now to make you a better wholesaler. We basically used the good cop, bad cop approach, where it was more or less a trial close, which made it a lot easier to close the seller and close this real estate wholesaling deal. So basically what we did was we basically said, hey, our partners sort of at this on the house. And it wasn't an offer, but it was just saying what our quote unquote partner was at with the property. And basically what happens there in that situation is you see the seller's reaction to what you said. And what happens there is we lowballed way too low. But the cool part is the seller was actually okay with that price. So and they negotiated a little more, and we ended up making $90,000 on that deal, all because we were going to make 60. So there's an extra $30,000 of assignment fees, but we just lowballed way lower than what we really should have because we kind of comped the wrong way. We take kind of the lowest comps. We don't really take the best ones just because we're a little more pessimistic. And at the end of the day, when we bid it up with our cash buyers, they're the ones really telling us the price more or less. So we really know if the market values that, because really, guys, it's all in your head. And I don't want to say that in a mean way or in a condescending way, but it's the honest truth. A lot of you guys, it's all in your head why you're not doing a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 real estate wholesaling deal or like a really big high margin deal. A lot of you guys think there's a limit on how much money you can make on an assignment deal. And really what I found out is the bigger the problem on a real estate wholesaling deal, the bigger you get paid. So you get paid directly proportionate on the problems you solve in wholesaling. So if you're in a situation where there's a lot of problems on it, like a lot of crazy title stuff, and you can get it done, you'll get paid pretty good on the assignment deal here. So what I can tell you is we lowballed it low, really, really low, but we still got extra what we would have done because I lowballed a little less. And the lesson is I actually kind of do this on purpose where I accidentally lowball a little more. So my sales team actually thinks they have to get it for a lower price. And it's hopefully they're not watching this video, but it's kind of true where when you have limited resources, but you push a goal, you can really push things. So let me give you one example. You know, obviously, you know, science changes and everything like that, but like, let's talk about the 4-minute mile for an example, right? The 4-minute mile used to be like the poster child of like the fastest mile, like that was like the time. People right now are doing like 3:30 miles, like 3:40s, like there's average Joes more or less that aren't quote unquote professional athletes that are like breaking the 4-minute mile. And back then it used to be like the most elite of the elite athletes. Same thing with the 100-meter sprint, stuff like that. Obviously science, trainings, technology's changed, but a lot of it's a mindset thing to a point where, you know, you might think this is our only possibility. We can't get past that point. And what I can tell you is a lot of wholesalers are like that. Like, hey, I can't make over $50,000 on that deal. And if you have that mindset and you go offer something where the most you're going to make a 30 off the bat, that's a very bad mindset because you could have made 75 on that deal, but you had that limiting mindset that you can't make this much on an assignment fee, so you never went for it without even knowing where the seller is going to be on that price. So that's one thing I sort of do. It's like if you tell somebody that they have to do this task in like a blind placebo. So if they've done studies before where they have like IKEA furniture and like, all right, they've done IKEA furniture studies where like, they make somebody, not IKEA furniture, but like have puzzles and stuff. And they tell the person that, hey, the average person, it takes them like 2 hours to get this done. Go do it. And then they do it. And then they tell somebody, like another group of people, hey, to solve this puzzle, the average person does it in like 30 minutes. And psychologically, you tell someone it's like 2 hours, they'll get it done in like an hour. And then you tell the person 30 minutes and they'll get it done in like 35 minutes and they think they failed. Who do you think actually became better in that situation? The person that got done in 35 minutes, who got actually done 25 minutes before the other person. And the only thing that was different was the goal in the end of the mind. And so when you accidentally make this money, it wasn't on accident, it's on purpose. But if I tell my acquisitions people, hey, the highest we can get this thing done for 140 and they lock it up for 150, and we make 60, 75, it's all in your head. And that's the one point I want to get done in this video, that most of your issues, most of your problems in wholesaling real estate, a lot of it's in your head. Now, of course, you have time constraints, but a lot of it, if you lowball your seller and you do it the right way, you're going to get bigger assignment fees. You get better motivated lists. So if I do Zillow for sale by owners, obviously I'm not going to make a $90,000 deal in there. Biggest Zillow for sale by owner deal I've done was $50,000, and that was great. But I'm telling you right now, if you just start shifting the way you're doing the offers and shifting your mindset, you're going to become wildly successful, and you can double, triple your assignment fees by doing the same amount of deals every single year. Next part is, remember guys, we are selling contracts. We are not selling the piece of real estate. So when it comes to selling a contract, it takes two to tango. So what I mean by this is, of course, you got to get a killer contract price. And a lot of people get really good contract prices in their wholesaling business, and then they just give it to the first cash buyer possible. And then they just, and then they just make a little assignment fee, where if you get a really killer contract price and then you actually push it hard with your cash buyers and bid it up like crazy, you can just get an insane, you can extra like 15, 20, 30,000 on each deal. And that's what we do. We basically oversell our prices to cash buyers. And if we know a cash buyer could probably buy it for between like 100, if we have enough cash buyers, we'll try to sell it for 120. And usually 2 or 3 people are going to bite on like a big list. And that's how we accidentally do well. We also get a lot of new flippers that are new in this business that are willing to pay a premium above the average cash buyer. That just gives us extra profit per deal. And it works really, really well, guys. We used realtors too that, I've never meant to network with them, but, I ran them, they got my number. Someone said, hey, here's this number. And I connected with them. And they said, if you ever cash buyers, we have cash buyers. And I never really wanted to use them. A lot of them have like cash buyers like Miami that come up with us. And I never really wanted to use them. But I just said, you know what? This is your deal at 140. And I roll my eyes because I have it under contract for 100 and I thought I was going to make 20, fine, 140, right? And I just laugh at it. And the realtor brings the buyer, says, 140, does this work? This seems like good, because the realtor kind of convinces the convinces the cash buyer. And they're like, yeah, that works. And we lock up the deal, get like a $40,000 assignment fee. Realtors have surprised me before, and that's the one thing I can tell you right now, where they talk a big game, and a lot of them aren't they can't get the good cash buyers, but some of them, I've accidentally just used them. I've accidentally found them and just used them and just give them a crazy high price. And sometimes they just hit it. They hit it out the park and they do really well. And it's very shocking and surprising, but it actually works really well, guys. So I would use realtors too and start connecting with them. During these times, guys, more buyers, the better, right? You got to treat buyers a little better now than you did last year, the year before. But it's a party, guys. More buyers, the better. Start bidding it out. I'm not telling you to overprice everything, but for some of these deals, you can push them. If you know it's a good deal, you can push it. But really, it's with my team, it's just having that goal in mind of coming in. It's hey, I'm going to try to make 75 on this deal or 60 on this deal and using a trial close versus you coming and saying, you know what, I probably make 25K on this assignment deal. Now, obviously you have to be realistic. I have Zillow for sale by owner deals that I lock up for like very low. Like I'll try to lock it up on the live stream, and I know I'm probably gonna make 5 or 10 on this. I try to get the lowest possible. It just doesn't work. Some deals like that just don't work. But if you push it hard, you can get the life of your dreams. You can start making more money wholesaling real estate, and you can become wildly successful. So what I recommend you do right now is just hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, guys. If you got any value, please do that. And I'm telling you, try. You just got to try. If you lowball a seller and it doesn't go well, if you do the trial close, you're going to be fine. And if you want to learn these strategies to learn how I do all this stuff, do me a big favor. Go to freewholesaling.com. That's my free wholesaling course from A to Z. Teach you everything you need to know about the entire wholesaling real estate process. I really appreciate it. Check out freewholesaling.com, and we'll see you soon. Have a blessed one.